What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday. Hello, 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 everybody. It is Tuesday. And you guys know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife Chat goes down here on Tuesday. So do me a huge favor when you're joining me, make sure that you're hitting the share button. And I just pray that your your week is off to a great start. I truly hope and pray that your week is off to a great start. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Um, as for me, as you can see, I am back in my bed. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Make sure that you're hitting the share button. I don't know why I started coughing since I got on here. I wasn't coughing before I got on here. But please do me a favor and put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would love to give you a shout out. I appreciate you. And again, I hope that and pray that your week is off to a great start. I know for me, mine is off to an actual busy start. But as you can see, I am where Wife Chat started 5 years ago, back in my bed because my hip is bothering me really, really bad. I don't know if it's the change of weather here where I live or what, because it went from really being hot to really cool today. I'm not really sure, but I'll go see my orthopedic tomorrow. So hopefully everything's gonna be good. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you're putting in the chat where you're joining me from. If you're looking at me from my YouTube channel, I thank you so much. Just say, hey, Gail, I'm watching you from wherever. I would love to give you a shout out. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. And again, as you guys can see, I am actually in my bed because, like I said, I don't know why my hip is bothering me, but I can hardly move today. Hi, Barbara. How are you from PA? How you doing? I appreciate you for hopping on. I truly appreciate you. And so tomorrow I have an appointment with my orthopedic because today was a rough day for me sitting in my office. So I decided to do Wife Chat where it all started from my bed. And so, again, this chat actually comes from a husband in Denver today. And it's an amazing thing to have husbands now that are writing into me for Wife Chat and to um, getting their questions answered. And so this husband out of Denver, and basically his thing was, hey, Dr. Gail, he's like, me and my wife have amazing sex, but she's been complaining because she said we have no intimacy in our marriage, right? And as you guys know, intimacy and sex are two different things. Intimacy and sex are two different things. And for most part, most men get that confused, right? They think that intimacy and sex are one and the same. You can have amazing intimacy and not have sex, right? You can have sex without intimacy, but when you bring those things together, that's where the magic happens, right? And so tonight I want to talk to you about 5 ingredients for intimacy in your marriage, right? And my prayer is that this is just not going to only help the husband that wrote into me from Denver. This is also going to help any of you guys who are struggling in the area of intimacy. I get a chance and the opportunity to talk to married couples and mainly women from around the world. And most of the time, they are having sex, but it's not meaningful sex because the intimacy part is not there, right? And when you cultivate intimacy outside of the bedroom and you bring that intimacy inside of the bedroom, again, that's where the magic happens. So let me give you these 5 ingredients on intimacy and how to get it in your marriage if you're struggling in that area. Okay. The first thing is communication outside of the bedroom, right? Being able and freely to communicate your needs, your wants, and desires when it comes to your marriage. Not necessarily just sex, but when it comes to your marriage, your needs, your wants, and desires. And you can also be able, you need to be able to articulate your needs, your wants, and desires when it comes to intimacy, love, and amazing sex, right? Because again, people only treat you how you allow them to treat you, and people only do to you what you allow them to do to you. And if you don't understand what you need, how you need it, and when you need it when it comes to intimacy and sex, that's the reason why you keep feeling empty when it comes to that, right? And what is intimacy? Intimacy has nothing to do with sex. Intimacy is all about physical communication, all of those things, touch, hug, kiss, laughter, fun, all of those things have to do with intimacy. Hello from North Carolina. I appreciate you, Roxanne. I appreciate you so, so much for joining me. I appreciate you. So all of those things come together when it comes for intimacy, but you need to be able to communicate your needs, your wants, and desires. Okay. And I'm talking about the 5 ingredients you need for intimacy. And this is answering a question or concern from a husband out of Denver, Colorado. Okay. Number 2, make intimacy with your spouse a priority, not sex, but intimacy. That's time, that's physical touch, that's emotional, most emotional connection. And that has to be cultivated because we live in a society where we're so busy. We got so many things on our plate. We're walking in unforgiveness. We have all of these things going on, right? But your spouse is the only walking, talking, living covenant that you cut. But we put them on the back burner so much because we have so much other things going on that at the end of the day, we have nothing left to give them. Hello, hello, Teresa from Atlanta. I appreciate you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. And so, thank you guys so much for joining me. And thank you so much for putting in the chat where you're joining me from. I appreciate you. So, make time that you make intimacy a priority, right? That's the reason why dating your husband is so important. And when you go on your dates, don't talk about anything that has to do with your children, the bills, or anything like that. Talk about future things, things that you want to explore, things that you want to do, places you want to go. Even if you don't think you have the finances, nobody to watch the kids, hell is breaking loose. Talk about things that are positive that can bring you guys together, that gives you hope and outlet, something to move towards and save towards or explore, right? Gil and I go on, sometimes even when we're in a restaurant, we will sit beside each other and pull out our phones and go explore the world and say, I want to do that, right? We already have vacations that we want to, places we want to go all the way out to 2024, right? Things we want to go. Do we have the funding now to do those things? No. Do we, we planned everything? No, but it's always in the forefront of our thinking. Because my thing is God, allow me to see this world. And I have been able to travel a lot of, a lot of places. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is that keeps us together. That makes us say, okay, we got to save for this, or we have decided years ago that we don't use credit to pay for anything. But at the end of the day, we have one credit card. We go on a really nice vacation every year. We pay it off so we can do it again, right? That's our vacation card, right? And it's no holds bar when we go on vacation. We want to eat at the best restaurants, we want to see the best things, and we want to have a great time because that's our reward, right? But everybody's at a different level. I remember we can only drive to the beach and stay one night and come back because that was our vacation, because that's what we could afford, right? So don't say, oh, I can't go do this, so I can't do nothing. No, you can go to the local motel or hotel and have a great time and spend one night and come back and be refreshed and revitalized. So make time for intimacy with your spouse. And don't talk about the hard things. Don't talk about the negative things, because they're going to meet you back when you get back anyway, right? But you have to have future thoughts, future plans to move forward. Okay. My wife says she finds it hard to separate for being a mom and being a wife. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is hard to separate from being a wife and a mom. And it's because we put so much on our plate. But I am a strong believer, and I used to operate out of order so much because my career was very, very important to me, right? And let me just tell you this: when you get God first, your spouse in your marriage second, and everything else come under that, that's when my life began to change. And yes, it is hard sometimes, especially when you're dealing with smaller children and you have to work outside the home. It's very hard to make that transition, right? And I teach a class, and it's going to be going on towards the end of the year, called From the Boardroom to the Bedroom. And we as women have to learn that we need to switch from our boxers, because most of the time when you are CEOs, or you have to work outside the home, or you work for somebody, you have to have that masculine energy to be able to compete at a workplace. But we need to be able to switch from our boxers to our lace panties, right? And that's a hard switch to do. And I don't know if your wife is a stay-at-home mom or not, but if you have small children, hats off to you, because it's the hardest job that you could do. And just learn to try to take some things off of your wife's plate in order for her to be able to make that transition. Okay. Hi, Roxanne. Thank you so much. Great ideas. I appreciate that. Okay. So make intimacy with your spouse a priority. And even if you cannot afford to go out on a date, or you have small children or whatever, find time to make a special dinner or do something different, and close all, put your baby in the bed, their bed, put your children down, and find some quality time in a different room from your bedroom to really cultivate some time together. Not have sex, have conversation, have something special different to eat, that that you didn't feed the kids or something like that. Do something different, right? Because you don't always, I understand it in these economic times, everybody does not have money. And I get it, because Gil and I used to be there. We had one of the biggest arguments in our marriage over $5 whole. When I say one, two, three, four, $5 whole. So I understand it. So don't think I'm coming from a place where, oh, Gail, you can afford to do this now or whatever, so then what about me? No, you can do and have amazing date nights at your home, right? When COVID happened, Gil and I still had a date night, because what we did was we let up the back end of my truck. We took my laptop out there, and we went and got some drive through from Chick-fil-A, 2 salads, and we watched a movie or whatever in the trunk of my car. So you can do it. You just got to be creative and be willing to spend that time. Okay. Number 3 ingredient is play together and pray together, right? Have fun. Life is so short. Have fun. When is the last time you and your spouse just had a great time, right? The other day, for Mother's Day, Gil asked me what did I want. Yes, he bought me some amazing earrings that I've been wanting forever, right? But what I told him I really wanted for uh, Mother's Day is I wanted to dance, right? I wanted to dance. I not only fast dance, but I wanted to slow dance with my husband, right? Because we haven't been out to a club in a long time. But I wanted to dance. And Gil and I met dancing. So he made that come true for me. And we had a blast. It didn't cost us anything. But whatever that what's that streaming service? What's that stream? Pandora, right? We danced. We had a dance off. Our kids was like, "What are y'all doing?" I was like, "Y'all just renamed the dances that we created, right?" We had the best time. We laughed. I the girls and I went against the boys. We just had a great time, right? And it didn't cost us anything. When is the last time you and your spouse watched a funny movie, went on a walk, laughed, and just had a great time? Life is so short. Walk away sometime and enjoy it, right? Because I get, like I said, I get an opportunity to talk to couples, and so many of them have gotten so serious. They don't laugh anymore. They've allowed bills and children and work and careers and education and all of those things to take over. Yes, those things are important, but take some time to laugh and enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? And then the other thing is pray together, right? I don't care what religion you are, and I don't care if your spouse is saved or unsaved, right? Learn to pray for them on a continuous basis. Because Gilbert had rededicated his life to Christ before I did, and it was hell in my household. But he quit trying to shove that down my throat, and he just began to pray for me. And he's seen this call on my life that I'm doing to this day. My voice is going all around the world. And he told me my story and my behavior and how I messed up my marriage for so many years was going to impact the world. I never thought that. But he began to speak it out over my life, and he began to pray for me. He prayed me back into the kingdom. So if you're dealing with a spouse who's like, I don't want that, I don't want, just pray for them. Okay? Not judge them, but pray for them. And number 5, set the stage for intimacy. Set the stage for intimacy. And what do I mean? You got to, just like we plan every area of our life. We plan to go get our hair done. We plan to go get our feet done. We plan to take the kids to Little League. We plan to go to church. We plan to go to work. We plan every area of our life. Why do we don't plan for intimacy in our marriage? Not sex, intimacy. Because most women are feeling empty when it comes to sex because they're not getting their needs, their wants, and desires met outside of the bedroom. Hi, Mama Pam. How are you? Tell my daddy I love you guys. My Memphis, Tennessee people. My mom's on here watching me. I'm sure my dad is probably listening too. So anyway, so set the stage for intimacy. Time it out. Make it non-negotiable. Because again, you only get one shot at this. One shot at this life. And you said to death do us part. I'm not throwing no shade because I understand what it is to be on the brink of divorce from the same man twice. But I also understand what it is to make him and my marriage and my covenant a priority. Okay. And number 5, show some appreciation and some gratitude. Show some appreciation and some gratitude. We are so quick to be able to tick off 1,000 things negative about our spouses. We can tick them things off, right? I could tell you 16 things right now that gets on my nerves or Gil did not do in the last 24 hours. But when I say, what did he do right? Then we're like, they do a lot right every single day. So show some gratitude. And I remember when I was in such a negative place and pointing the finger and finding all the things that he did wrong, God spoke to me audibly and said, Gail, but what does he do right? And then he made me do a 30-day gratitude challenge, right? where I found something that Gil did right for 30 whole days. And then I gifted him that tablet that I did it in. And I've seen my husband cry 3 times in 35 years. 3. When his 2 children was born, and the day I gifted him that. And if you want to take the 30-day gratitude, I have a whole thing on my website. It's totally free. And I admonish you to do that. And the first couple of days, it was like, thank you so much for taking out the trash. Thank you so much for waking up. Thank you for going to work. But as I got into it, I realized he contributed so much, not just to my life, but to my children's life and to other people's life. Because I am here doing the work that I do for prayers that he prayed for me when I was in such a negative space, right? Words of affirmation are important for both. It is. Thank you, Teresa. It is. So my thing is show some appreciation and some gratitude every single day. Even when you and your spouse are in a bad space, find something positive and not always focus in on the negative, right? Because let me just tell you, it is hard out here being single. I get the opportunity to talk to the singles too. And they always say, if I had the opportunity to do it again, because most of them have been married, I would do it so different. I would look at my marriage so different. I would act so different. I wouldn't stress over the small things. I wouldn't be chasing things. I would be chasing after the person that I said I loved. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have nice things. Don't get me wrong. But at what expense are you putting your marriage in jeopardy over things and focusing on the wrong things? So I pray that these 5 ingredients will help you begin to cultivate intimacy back into your marriage. And again, this chat came from a husband in Denver, Colorado. So I'll go over those again. Communicate your needs, your wants, and desires outside of the bedroom, right? Be able to have a conversation with your spouse. Well, Gail, I can't talk to him or her because they don't listen. Be able to have a conversation, because if you're not able to have a conversation with your spouse, then you guys are really in trouble. And get yourself some help. Number 2, make intimacy with your spouse a priority, not sex, intimacy. Number 3, play together and pray together. Number 4, set the stage for intimacy. And number 5, show some appreciation and some gratitude. Okay? And so my prayer is that this is not going to only help the husband in Denver, but this has helped you guys on here. I truly appreciate you guys getting on and supporting Wife Chat. If you have a question or you have a topic that you want me to cover, nothing is off limits. Just shoot me a DM, email me, or whatever. Visit my website if you want to download the 30 days of gratitude. I put it in a nice little thing. It's a downloadable for you. It's actually fillable too, or you can fill it out and email it to your spouse, or you can print it out and then gift it to them. However you want to do that. I admonish you to do that on the 18th of June. Say the 18th of June, I have a class that I'm doing called Surrender Your Baggage. So if you're in a situation where you're holding on to past hurts, past needs not being met, and you need to surrender your baggage so you can put a period behind those things and move forward, please visit my website under attend, and it will be on there. I would love to have you. My assistant has been, dealing with a death and stuff in her family, so she hasn't updated the banner on the front from this month's class. But for next month's, for June the 18th, if you go to attend, it'll be surrender your baggage on there. So make sure that you do that. Also, bringing sexy back to the marriage 2023 is popping off. Like I said, I will let you guys know if it's going to be in the Maryland area. I need to figure out some things, if it's going to be in Baltimore or if it's going to be in Gaithersburg. So those are the two places: Baltimore, Baltimore, Gaithersburg. But I'll let you guys know that by Friday. So, but you can go ahead and register for that, and that's at bsbconference.com. I love you guys to pieces. Thank you so much for allowing me in your personal space. Thank you so much for supporting BSB. If you need me, you guys know how to get in contact with me. If you need to talk with me, you can go to my website and just schedule a free 15-minute consultation. I'm not trying to sell you nothing or whatever. I'm going to give you a tool and a strategy to help you. And I will tell you if you want to know how we can work together and just get you on the right path when it comes to your marriage. I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing night.